Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have just met with Blord, who has been in Kuje prison. Well, they said we should call it correctional center whenever we talk to the public. And it's unbelievable how much of a high spirit this guy is.
Very true.
But we were feeling bad that he was better than us because we went there feeling bad for him, only to find this guy like it's high spirit. We were expecting to like find him crestfallen, and he says we should appreciate everyone out there who is concerned about his well-being, who has shown support, understanding, and people have been sending him prayers. Some have even sent him flowers, and he enjoys the highest form of respect within the population in prison. And he said to us that he has used his opportunity to rest because he hasn't rested in a long time. And he also made it clear that we should let the public know that he's not begging anyone. In fact, he said his level of preparedness is that whenever it happens. You know, that he's not in a hurry, he's not worried, he's not concerned, and that he understood very well that this was well planned in advance. The moment he was arrested and the entire process, the process that was unduly used against him. This is what I refer to as the weaponization of the law. In fact, it is called lawfare, you know, as opposed to warfare that has been deployed against him. So, and that's we had a very great time discussing with him. And these are lawyers, A.K. Musa, Barrister Wayne, Sika, and Chika Nago. These are lawyers that accompanied us, and Stanley on top, who himself was recently, shown pepper in Enugu, is also here with us. And it's become a large community of persecuted people, so who are also ensuring that nobody is persecuted or harassed or oppressed in our lifetime. And Jane, thank you all so much for coming, and the media people who are behind the cameras here. So that's what we have to tell you. But we also found out that there are some political undertones involved as well. Apparently, he made a video saying he will never join City Boys. The guys who are supporting Tinubu, they call City Boys, who are people that now village people, they pursue them, go join City Boys. So they said that because of that, they gave him the impression that, yes, you think you are wise. So there's also a political undertone now, we found out. But all of it will be resolved in the interest of justice as soon as possible. Because this one, people will look at it and say, assuming they didn't touch them now, they will not use bulletproof to do protest. So that's my position. I support them. In fact, I share their flyer this morning on my Facebook page that people should join. And we send people to join them. Some of our colleagues went to join them, yes.
So you are saying if not that you are here, you could have joined them?
No, I wasn't going to join them because I was not invited to join them.
You're also in opposition, and this is the fight between...
I'm not in opposition for opposition's sake. I'm opposed to everything that is wrong with Nigeria, including what the opposition people were doing when they were not in opposition. Yes. So mine is a principled opposition. Their own is opposition for election and convenience. The moment the election is over now, Atiku will go back to Dubai, which is where he stays permanently, and you won't see them again. But I protest every day, even on their behalf. That's how I'm wired.
Okay, so I'd like you to react to something that happened yesterday.
What was that?
There was a thunderstorm or wind, a climate storm, and it destroyed over 5 billion naira project that was, is it 5 or 20 billion? 30 billion. That was inaugurated by the FCT minister. It was supposed to be the FCT Abuja bus terminal. But that project has been commissioned, but it's not in use. And now
it has collapsed.
Just 10 months.
Yeah, he has collapsed in 10 months. So those of you who are saying that Wike is Mr. Magic, he has done the magic again. 30 billion naira, just like that. Just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. That's what Fela used to say. You know, these are people who are bereft of ideas. They are thieves. Wike came to steal land in Abuja, not to build Abuja. And Tinubu.
And he has just called for the arrest of the owner of a land where they were building an edifice and it collapsed. That he's going to also be prosecuted.
So is it the owner of the land that put bomb underneath it, or he used juju? Wike is confused, you know, and this is the outcome of too much consumption of alcohol. How do you arrest the owner of the land? How is the owner of the land responsible for the collapse of the I don't understand. He's the one that should have been arrested for the collapse of the building. And I hope nobody died there, because if anybody died there, he's also liable for their death. He should be under arrest as we speak. I would have expected that he would be coming to this prison by now. Yes.
So are you aware of the newly signed 3 trillion naira pumped into electricity to improve the power sector?
That's election money. They're not pumping any money into any electricity. When the regime started, we told you that it's an incompetent regime with incompetent ministers. And I don't know what has happened to electricity, but I'm aware that there's no electricity in the country virtually anymore. So they probably did that with the intention of provoking the infusion of 3 trillion naira that will go to their people and ultimately what they want to use to bribe voters for the election. This is national theft, you know, it's a heist of national resources. It's terrible, you know, and the earlier Nigerians rise up against, I keep saying it, the earlier you rise up against these guys, the better for all of us and all of you. I'm serious.
So as we speak now, the appeal court has just restated Gabam as the SDP chairman. I don't know if you're aware of it. Can you say something about that?
I'm not in SDP.
Because SDP is also an opposition party, and it seems that they're also being destabilized just like ADC.
That's strange to you that at the end of the day, the only party that might remain is the AAC. And it is because we fought our battles very early. And I'm not in any way telling you that they won't come after also, because I'm sure they have a plan also for AAC. But when they come, you know, we are battle tanks. We're always ready. When they come, we'll fight them like we've never ever fought before. So, but we have been telling you that they will destabilize us because they want in one party state. And the only party that you can trust is AAC. Okay. That's the only trustworthy party today that can take you to the promised land. African Action Congress. Register now before it is too late. Join the party and go through the classes. You can't just join the party and pick up nomination. We don't sell nomination. We have to go through classes. You have to shed your old ways, shed your skin, you know, and understand that it's an ideological party that has a socialist policy. Yes, so we just concluded.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah, we just concluded the prison visitation. We're part of the members of the legal team trying to ensure that justice is done in this case. We're working in concert with Ezika SAN and Mr. Barrister Chikwelwe and other interested lawyers who are doing everything within their powers to ensure that justice is done in this case. Like Baba has already transmitted, Blord is very grateful to everybody who is lending their voice to this issue. But our stance is very clear that this institution and apparatus are not meant to use to satisfy personal grudges and personal vendetta. And if anybody is excited and jubilating over the incarceration of any Nigerian using the institutions that are meant to protect the life and the citizens of the Nigerian people, that goes to show that you are celebrating the corruption in the system, and there's no other way to color it or paint it. And what bothers me so much as a lawyer is that if we continue to engage the judiciary to do these kind of things, it will undermine the integrity and the confidence that the Nigerian people can repose in the judiciary over time. As it is now, many Nigerians have lost confidence in the institution, and this further deepens the lack of trust that Nigerians would have in the court. And so, at any day or time, we cannot encourage this. And so, many people have said that it is the Office of the Inspector General of Police that is prosecuting. As much as that is true, that is the procedure and that is the law. That if anybody intends to institute a criminal action, it's still the state and the police that will prosecute, or other agencies that will prosecute. That is undertaking the mandate of the law, the dictates of the law. That is what it's supposed to be. But what we are witnessing is like the state institution undertaking the mandate of individuals, and that's what we are vehemently opposed to. That the IGP is not in position to undertake the mandate of anybody, and the fact that the complainant and some other persons are jubilating over the incarceration of Mr. Blord is suggestive of the fact that the IGP has lended its office to them to use to incarcerate, to oppress Mr. Blord. And that is what we are against. No argument can justify this action, because even the people that we have been fighting for, it was still the same offices that prosecuted them, and we stood against the use of the office of the police and other agencies to prosecute personal vendetta. What has changed in this case? No amount of coloration can change the fact that what we have continuously fought for is still what we are fighting for. So this is not about Blord or VeryDarkMan or anybody. It's about the ideals that we hold. And if our ideals and ideas can change as the wind blows or toes forth and back, it means that our ideals are not strong enough. It is because of the strength of the ideology that we have that we are here. That